So the fear was that if the cash ISA allowance was reduced significantly, then it could start to impact mortgage availability and mortgage rates. One of the big stories was the cash ISA allowance. Now that was reduced, but it's got a bit of a age caveat. So it's not reduced for everybody. So from 6th of April 2027, the maximum amount you can pay into a cash ISA, if you're under the age of 65, will be reduced from £20,000 to £12,000. So the age exemption for those over the age of 65 is that they will continue to be able to pay £20,000 into a cash ISA from the April of 2027. So the logic is that by keeping the full cash ISA allowance for the over 65s, they tend to hold larger sums in cash, and so they will be able to earn interest tax free. The other thing you have to remember that people who may be in retirement need access to their savings, so they might prefer to be able to withdraw cash from their savings rather than be invested. If you invest, you need to really invest for at least 5 years. And there was concern from building societies about the ability to fund mortgages. So the cash ISA deposits that they have, they use as a means to lend to mortgage borrowers. So the fear was that if the cash ISA allowance was reduced significantly, then it could start to impact mortgage availability and mortgage rates. So given that the over 65s are typically the part of the population that hold the largest cash sums, then that's probably ticked all of those boxes and has kept the building society contingent happy as well.
Yeah, and that sort of makes sense for the people over 65s and why they made that decision. But what about the people under 65, reducing that cash ISA allowance? What's the main purpose of doing that?
So the thought process for people under the age of 65 is that by restricting their cash ISA allowance to £12,000 from April 2027, it will mean they will be encouraged to start to invest, because they will still have a full ISA allowance of £20,000. It just means they can only put £12,000 in a cash ISA, and the remaining £8,000 will need to be invested in non-cash assets. So what we're talking about is the most likely outcome is they will put £8,000 in a stocks and shares ISA, for example, and the chancellor would love for that money to be invested in UK companies. At the moment, there is no sign that that is going to be mandatory, but there is a lot that's yet to be confirmed. So there is a period of consultation.